All right, hey everybody, welcome to Conjuror Community. My name is Adam Grace, and I'm here with Alexander Slimmer and Steve Barcelona. What's up, guys?
Nothing much, man.
So today we're going to look at the magic of Harry Lorayne. And before we get started, do us a favor, hit that like button so the YouTube algorithm will give us some love. And go ahead and follow our channel. That way you'll be notified when we go live every time. So we're going to look at the magic of Harry Lorayne. I think it's card tricks today too, right, Alex?
Yeah, all card tricks today, but good card tricks. And Harry Lorayne he's one of those guys. He's like a pillar of the magic community. And I know that when I first got into magic, he's one of the first magicians I really encountered. And how can you not be influenced by Harry Lorayne? He's sort of one of those ubiquitous kind of magicians. So, a lot of the things that we're going to see today are plays on classic effects, and Harry's take on what the magic world is, and it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, and for those of you that are here that are our Conjure community members, we want to thank you for being here. Huggy's here, and David, and Scott, and Robert Newell's here, Garnet, Michael Sproul's here, Scott's here. So everybody's here today. Of course, we all know who Harry Lorayne is. If you're watching this on YouTube and you don't know who Harry Lorayne is, he is definitely one of the OGs. Like when you look at modern card magic, like the guy has so much work on card magic. And we were just talking pre-show about those of us who have met Harry. We're going to talk about that more in a second. First, why don't we just watch a card trick first? Why don't we watch a little clip and see what he's got? Yeah.
Sounds
Yep,
good.
do it.
All right, here we go. Hold on, I'm teching here too. So let me see if I can do this right. All right, here we go. All right. Hopefully you see that, yeah?
Yes, sir.
My back. Would you, Lorayne, would you reach over and grab a card? Can you do that? Yeah, grab a card. Show it to at least one other person. Reason I do that is I hate to work for nothing. Usually I say, what's your card? They say, I don't know, so show it to one other person. Now, would you do this for me, Lorayne? You take the deck in your own hand, put that card after you've looked at it and remembered it, of course, put it into the deck. Not in your purse, not in your pocket, because if you do that, I have to make you disappear. I don't want to do that. So put it into the deck yourself and shuffle the cards. Would you do that for me? Can I turn around now? Is it all right? Because I don't want to see anything.
Yes,
okay. In other words, what I've tried to do here, and it's just an experiment, I've tried to set up a challenge for myself. Really. In other words, what I wanted to do is have a card selected in such a way and shuffled in such a way that I couldn't possibly, conceivably know it. That's why I turned my back, you took the card, you shuffled while my back was turned in, etc. Now, if you concentrate on your card, Lorayne, sometimes I get a tingle in this finger, which tells me that I've come to your card, but somehow I'm not getting... You are concentrating on your card, are you, Lorayne? Really? Yeah? Well, I don't want to blame you for my errors. Sometimes I do get lucky. Sometimes I can cut a deck, really, and I can cut your card right to the top. Now, I'm not sure. Just say yes or no. Is this at the Ace of Diamonds?
No.
I'm not. Am I close at all? Not even...
Really, no.
And I wanted to impress you, you see. What was your card? Seriously, I'm in trouble. What was it?
It was a 5 of hearts.
Would you take a look at that Ace of Diamonds? I don't want to touch it. Yeah, take a look. Yeah, see. Thank you. What's interesting, it's almost like mass hypnosis, because what was the card you thought you saw? An Ace of Diamonds, which is really impossible, because I had that in my pocket all the time. I don't understand that at all. That's fools the heck out of me. You guys are very good.
Sometimes with Harry, it's hard to know if like he's jamming or if that's like an actual structured routine.
Totally the truth. Totally the truth. He has a lot of casual toying with the deck that happens, and you can't tell if he's setting something up or if he's shuffling things, or he has a very interesting style for all the things that he does between the actual moments of magic. And he's pretty challenging, I think, too, when he performs. Like, he definitely is like putting people on the spot and almost like, I'm gonna get you. You better watch how I do it. It's like he's a lot of challenges. I've noticed.
I think you're totally right, but in some way, he's still likable, right?
Totally.
It's like, I think you're totally right. It's always very challenging and very like keeping control of the situation. But he's not unlikable. You know, he feels to me like the quintessential "this is my uncle" guy.
Shoot, I
Right.
mean, dude, I've always thought he was like enigmatic guy.
Yeah.
You know, like even in person when you're sitting there with Harry, like this is a guy who's like been everywhere around the world. He's had his hands in different occupations. He's been
Yes.
successful in several, not just magic, but in several other occupations. And he is, you know, he's just got this energy about him that is really, I think, it just sucks you in, man. He's just a really interesting guy, and
Yeah.
and he's got chops. You know, I mean, he had chops when he was 20, so it's like hanging out with it. You know, when I was a kid at Ruben's Deli, like getting to sit on Saturdays and watch the guy do card tricks and just jam with the guys. Like, you know, he was like watching. You know, it's like watching a master work. When you're young, you're watching that stuff and you're like, wow, I can't believe some of the stuff he does. But it was all very much like this. I mean, it always felt to me off the cuff, and I never had any idea whether, you know, this was a structured routine here or if he was just playing with me, if he was just doing, you know, magic. I just didn't know. It's so
And he's
weird.
definitely enthusiastic, right? Like, and his enthusiasm is a little bit infectious. So you're always like right on the edge of your seat, like, come on, let's see more, let's see more. You know, it's very interesting because there aren't many people that are like him. He's definitely a one of a kind. Plus, he's also known throughout the world as being a memory expert, right? Like he was on the Tonight Show doing the memory expert stuff and selling the memory course and all that stuff. So, you know, he has that as like, you know, street cred before he even walks in the room. He's that guy. Plus he does magic tricks. And I think, you know, it was obviously the opposite. He was a magic guy that became the memory expert, but you know, to the rest of the world, he's got street cred, and it's what Adam's talking about. He's got that star quality, right? Like star power. He walks in the room and like everyone's like, whoosh, there's Harry. Everyone's
That
looking
it
at Harry.
factor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the it factor. You don't know what it is. It's just something about somebody, and he's got that for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's watch something else. This is I guess this is a classic trick, right, Alex? The second one here.
This is actually one that he was pretty coy about because he hasn't published this one. And in the collection, he said, you better check out my new collection of stuff that's going to be exclusive. You can only get from me, and it'll be in there. So he was really sort of coy about this one. So I'll leave it to you.
Cool. That's very cool. All right, let's check it out.
That's hard to do. Lorayne, take out any card at all. Remember it, of course, and show it to at least one other person, as usual, okay? Is that fair enough? Would you put it back into the deck for me? Okay, fair enough. Please, don't forget your card, okay? Look, I don't like to do what other magicians do, where they keep their fingers in the cards and things like that. I don't want to do that stuff. I really want that card lost. Would you pick up the deck, reshuffle, and do anything you like? Within reason. Pictures went through your mind there, didn't they? Yeah. All right, is that fair enough?
I feel so, yes.
Okay. As I told you once before, you know, if you concentrate on your card, I can sometimes, not always, obviously, get a tingle in my finger. But you know something? Any magician could do that. I'm not going to do that. I want to try something else. I don't want to know where your card is. I really don't. In other words, you can see that I'm shuffling the deck, okay? Here's what I want to do, Laura, and I would like you to point to any two cards in the spread. Any two cards. Point to any two cards.
This one and this one.
You want the top card and these two cards right here. Okay, you've selected the 8 of diamonds and the 6 of diamonds, which is completely immaterial. I want to leave them right here in the center. You yourself selected these cards. I had nothing to do with it. The 6 of diamonds and 8 of diamonds. Do me a favor, Laura, square the deck up for me. Yeah, best you can. That's terrific. Those two cards you selected, if I do this, watch, just like that, they become magic cards. And they will find your card. They really will. What is the card you were thinking of that you showed everybody before?
8 of hearts.
The 8 of hearts. You see, I said, I have to do that, and it's done. Look at that. Those two cards that you selected actually did catch a card. You yourself did it. You squared the card. What was your card again? That my memory is going on. 8 of hearts. Take a look at that card. Turn it over so everybody can see it, would you? Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. So was this wasn't the one you were talking about though, Alex, right?
No, this one's a little bit different. This one I'm pretty sure is in print, and there's you could probably find how to get there if you thought about it for a little while. If you have some magic knowledge, you can probably make your way to the solution there. But the other one, no, this other one is a little bit more. It's a little bit more complex.
I skipped one, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you just skipped one. It's okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
We just built a little suspense. That's all.
But I thought that was great. I just like the way he navigates through it. It feels like like you were saying before, you don't know like if it's impromptu, is he riffing? It's just, and I really enjoy that. I mean, I really enjoy that kind of style,
It has that thing that the Vernon touch has, right? Like when the Vernon touch was described in the Vernon Book of Magic, it was, for me, one of the major points on it was that there's a line blur. There's no discernible moment where this is the beginning of the routine, right? Now the magic is going to start, right? It's just conversation and it all blurs together and becomes life, right? Harry's real good at doing that very thing where you don't know what's happening. You don't know when the effect starts. And by the time you realize, oh, wow, he's doing an effect now, it's too late. You missed all the preamble. Road. You missed all the stuff that might have given you any clues, right? Your node, as it were.
It's better that way.
It's better that way. Yes.
It's
a good lesson to learn. There's no doubt.
Let's watch Numero Uno real quick. This is the one we were talking about that was unpublished, right?
That's right. Yeah, let's check this out.
From a shuffle deck, pull out any card. If you take the 5 of hearts again, I'll kill you. Take out any card. Show it to at least one other person, please. Again, this trick is so good, I have to see it myself. What I'm going to do, Ursula, from the shuffle deck, you had an absolutely free choice of a card, right? I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop cards like this. Whenever you like, say stop, I'll stop. You'll put your card in the deck, okay? So whenever you like, put the card in there. Look, I want to show you immediately that there's no monkey business here. I don't want to know what your card is. I really don't. But what I want to try is this. I want you to give me any number between 10 and 20. Make it kind of high. Any number you like. Give me a number.
12.
No, between 10. Make it high. Make it tough for me.
18.
18. That's better. Okay. Me and my big mouth, right? All right, here's the point. If I could cut exactly 17 cards, that would make that the 18th card, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, right? Okay, and if that is the 18th card, it's going to be your card. That's the whole point of this. Let me check. 17. All right? Do you remember what I just said? I said if I could cut 17 cards, and that would be the 18th, which is the number you said, that will be your card. What was your card?
Queen of Diamonds.
Take a look at that 18th card. Would you show it to everybody? Did I ever lie to you before? Now, let me... Thank you. Let me ask you a question. Lorayne, what are you dying to do right now? Yeah, you are, right? You want to count those cards, don't you?
Yeah, I do kind of.
Well, why don't you pick them up and count them? What did I say? 17? Out loud so everybody works with.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Did I ever lie to you before? Why would I lie?
I like that. That's pretty slick.
That's pretty good.
That's
really
Back
great.
to the head.
I like that a lot.
Nice job, Harry. Nice job. Nice job.
I just think that was a lot of fun. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially when he's got that performance style that he has, where you just don't know what's coming, and then when that one comes out of the blue, that's pretty good, man.
What was the name of
fun.
that?
That's Numero Uno.
Numero Uno. Okay.
Yeah. So he has published. He's a pretty prolific guy, right? There's a lot of Harry Lorayne books that are out there.
Yeah.
You know, he's part of the echelon, as it were, with all of the magic books. At a certain point, all of his books were everywhere, right? You couldn't not see a Harry Lorayne book. But as magic books go, they come in and out of print. Now his books are pretty hard to come by. He's put out a couple of collections where it was a handful of the books put together in one bound volume, and he put out a series of those that got all of the old material with some updates. And then at a certain point, he was publishing, but only selling the books through him. You couldn't get them anywhere else. So you had to buy you have to buy some of these books directly from Harry if they're still available. And Numero Uno is one of those tricks that's in one of those books that you had to get directly from Harry. And if you missed the print run, good luck. I hope you know someone that has a Harry Lorayne library, and you might bump into that.
It looks like you might have one right behind you, Alex.
I have a couple of the Harry Lorayne books. I don't have any of the ones that were published by him, but I do have a Harry Lorayne super fan friend that has a couple of those books that I've been able to peruse and get a couple of the goodies from. But yeah, if you don't have that sort of situation, I don't know how you find this stuff. It's kind of crazy, but it keeps it exclusive, right? It keeps a trick like that very exclusive. So if you have that, count yourself lucky.
I have a couple of theories about that last trick. Maybe in the after show, we'll break that one down because I think it's really interesting. That's a really interesting concept for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
And execution on that was perfecto.
That's what it has to be when you're doing a card trick like that. There can be no fumble. There can be no. It has to look like what you did is the only way it's going to work every single time. Otherwise, I think you're given a clue, right? Because he didn't really leave us with any clues when that all was said and done, right? The smoke cleared, and we're like, you just cut to that card, man.
That's right. And as magicians, we are watching with a very, very eagle eye. So we're watching carefully, and there was nothing to see. It was the execution was perfect. It reminds me, like, I think what it is like, and you see this with Harry. He's reached that maturity. He's reached that age where now he's got such a mastery of so many different elements of card magic that he can pull from whatever he needs at any time. I think some people maybe achieve it earlier, but I think Harry's had it for a long time, and I think that you can hand him a deck of cards and you can say go to town, and he can, and so something like what we just witnessed does really look like a miracle. But I know that there were several options going on in his head. Anyway, we'll talk more about it in the after show. Okay, let's watch another one. Let's watch this. Let's watch a little family trick. How about that?
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I call the family unit. Family unit are the kings, the jacks, the queens. These are all mixed, but that's a family unit. Jacks, queen, kings. I don't want you to think that I memorized again any of these cards. Easy to memorize, obviously. I don't want you to think I memorized these cards. Nah, I'm kidding. Look, as a matter of fact, cut them for me, would you? Yeah, that's fine. Look, I really want to mix them. Look. I really don't want to memorize them. And it's called a family unit. The whole point is that you cannot break up a family unit. For example, let me see if I can demonstrate that for you. Look, if I were to take any card from this group, well, that's a heart, okay? There's a heart, but, well, wait a minute, these are not hearts, these are diamonds. Well, as I just said, look, if I do this, you cannot break up a family unit, you see. Let me try that again. Look, here's a heart right here. There's a heart, but wait a minute, these two are obviously not hearts. But I keep telling you, there's no way you can break up a family unit. Now, no, wait till the end. Do me a favor, put these together any way you like. In other words, pick up one packet, put it on another, and then any way you like. That's the way you want them, huh? Now, you want to give them a cut for me? I know it's hard to cut a small packet, but as best you can. You can cut 1 and 5. Yeah, and we could do that. Or cut them again if you like or not. Up to you. You satisfied? You do? I wish I could say the same, right? There are 3 pairs of cards left, actually. Here's one pair, and here's another pair, and here's another pair. One card of this pair is a spade. That was the top pair right there. One card of this uppermost pair right now is also a spade. That's nice. And one card of the bottom pair, oh, that's a spade. Isn't that amazing? No, that's not amazing. What's amazing is those are not spades. Those are hearts. The spades are over here. Wow. That's amazing.
There's a Richard Vollmer trick that's about like couples and keeping couples apart, and I think this is his sort of take on it. I remember bringing it into the club and doing the couples version of this, and this is the family unit, which is actually 3 as opposed to 2, and it's what an interesting card trick. Amongst card tricks, it's just a different way to present card tricks, and it's interesting. It's interesting.
What I really liked about it was, there's stuff going on there, but he got into it so smooth. Like it just seemed so haphazard, like nothing was precious. He didn't care about anything, but he is really, there's work there.
Oh yeah, make no mistake.
You know what I mean?
He's doing some sleight of hand there, hard.
Absolutely.
Right?
And that's like what I think is really the coolest thing. It's just the way he gets in it. It's so casual. You don't see anything coming. Like you were saying before, it's like before you know it, he's doing something. Once he started going with the counts, I was like, oh damn, he just did all that. You know what I mean?
You know,
It's
Steve,
pretty
that's
cool.
that's what you're saying is one of the things that really attracted me to the magic of Harry Lorayne when I first got into him was, you know, he made all of these sleights with small packets of cards look effortless and look like there's nothing happening. And I really tried to adopt a lot of his mannerisms and handling touches because I think he's one of the best at doing that kind of magic. And not only that, he's talking like a million miles an hour while he's doing all that stuff. So it seems even more to like throw you off the course of like finding a solution to what's going on, right?
He's holding the room too.
Yeah, you have to just surrender at a certain point because like I'm on Harry's ride. I'm going to let him do what he's going to do.
Let him do his thing for sure.
When I was about 12 years old, I met my mentor, Frank Brentz, who was a New York City magician who used to go to Rubens, and he's the one that told me about it. And he was friends with all the New York guys, including Harry Lorayne. And I met Frank Brentz on a cruise ship. And the first day or so that I met him, and I was like, I'm an aspiring magician. He said, oh, let me give you a book to read. And the first thing he did was he handed me a Harry Lorayne book. And I remember there's a picture of me. I'm in this little cruise ship bunk cabin, and I'm laying on the bed. There's a picture of me. I'm just a kid. And I'm reading. I've got like a stack of 4 books. They're all Harry Lorayne books, and I'm reading one. You know, and it's like blowing my mind, right? But you know, later on in life, I'd move to New York City, and I'd get to meet and hang out with Frank Brentz quite a bit, and Harry and all those guys at Rubens, and you know, over the years, I saw Harry do a lot of magic. And a lot of Harry's magic is like that last effect. Like a lot of it is, look, there's a lot of self-working Harry tricks out there too, right? I mean, he's just because he's got such a huge amount of material that he's written about over the years. But that last thing we watch is knuckle busting. There's no doubt about it. Like you have to have massive skill to be able to do it, and to do it as elegantly and beautifully as he did it. And as casually. I think Robert's the one that said how casual he appears to be. But it, you know, just looking at all that stuff and that way of presentation, really, he's been an inspiration on a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people have really taken his style and his approach to card magic. It's really fun to watch him do that kind of stuff. Anyway,
well, it's interesting when you first start doing magic, right? You have no example of how to do magic. Like if you're reading it cold from a book like that, you just have this idea and maybe a little bit of imagination and maybe a character in a movie or someone that has magical like qualities that you might adopt. But when you bump into a guy like Harry Lorayne and it's like, wow, this is like a completed magician. Like this is what a magician looks like when you meet a real magician. It's real easy to sort of, you know, imitate a couple of the things that Harry does here and there because they're sound, right? They're tried and true. And I think in the beginning as a magician, you have to find your own voice. And there's a lot of fake it till you make it kind of going on when you're first starting doing magic. And Harry's one of those voices that if you use his voice, it'll point to your voice because it's, you know, he's got this very tried and true way of doing it that you see him succeed at. And once you can sort of do that and have that as a net underneath you, you can sort of branch out from that and find out who you are doing these same sort of things. And, you know, there's nothing like finding a good person to imitate when you first start doing something, no matter what the art form is, because I think that's how you find your way. You realize, oh, wow, I'm copying this person. I'm a lot like this person. How do I fix that? But you can't do that until you've done it enough, right? Until you recognize, oh, wow, that's not me. That's not really what I'm like. And it's a process. But Harry's a great example to draw from when you're trying to build a character in magic or build who you are as a magician, you know? And I know it was definitely part of my process. That's for sure.
I was going to drop in there. It's exactly like playing guitar, right? You find the handful of guys that you really like, and you figure out how you can, you know, take a skill of theirs or whatever and bring it in.
And how could it not? How could it not be like every other art form, right? Like
exactly.
Painting, right? I'm not a painter, but I imagine as a painter, it's the same process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Or a sculptor or whatever, you know, whatever the art form is that you choose. It's just we chose card tricks. We chose magic, right?
this is just so great because I remember early on, maybe in the late 70s, I saw him lecture at like a local convention in New York area. And I thought it was just like the coolest thing, and just, I don't remember much about it, but I just thought I remember the impact it had. I was like, wow, that guy, like, I really wanted to be a card magician after that.
If you're watching this video right now and you're like, man, I sure wish I had some magicians to hang out with, you should head on over to the people who sponsor this video. That's Conjuror Community. That's right.
Look at that.
A place that has proven practical advice for passionate magicians. We have a great website. You should go check it out at conjuror.community. We focus on perfecting your magic and performing your magic and marketing your magic. And there's a lot of great resources here on the site. We also have a club, if you're interested, the Conjuror Community Club, where we have in-depth courses and training and exclusive live lectures and live events. And we have an active, supportive community of people, magicians all over the world who love to help. That's conjure.community. Go check it out. We're going to watch one more Harry Lorayne. I believe this is an ace assembly. And this is some of my favorite, you saved the best for last. Some of my favorite Harry magic are these ace assemblies that he's put together over the years. All right, let's check it out. Here we go. And action.
This easy for you. I want you to I'll make this easy for you. I want you to remember that the ace of spades is the top ace. Can you see that? I'm showing it to you from all directions so you can see that I'm not kidding you. Can you see it? You can remember them all if you like. It's up to you. Look, here's the ace of hearts. You don't have to. The ace of clubs, the ace of diamonds. Most important, the ace of spades, okay? Now look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. If you were watching, which one should be the top ace, the ace of spades? And just to show you there's no monkey business, all right? Now I want to put a few different cards on each ace. For example, a few here, a few here, a few here, as I did before. And this one, in order for this to work, I have to do this first. That does it. And then we got to put a few cards over here. Now, if you're following me, you know that I've got an ace and a few different cards in each packet, the same here, here, and here. What I want to try to do, and I verbally underline the word try. I want to try to make these 3 aces fly into that packet one at a time. So it gives you 3 chances to catch me, okay? Of course, I'm going to do it by magic, so you have to watch closely. Look, here's ace number 1. Watch it. 1, 2, 3, and I think I did it. I think ace number 1 is gone, yeah, because where I had 1 ace, we have 1, 2, and of course 2 aces. Well, now we have 2 aces and 2 odd cards here. 1 ace here, 1 here. I'm going to do it very slowly. God bless you. We'll do it with this one right here. Watch this ace. 1, 2, 3, and I think, yep, that one went. Of course, where you just saw 2 aces, we have 1, 2, and of course 3 aces. Well, now we have 3 aces and an odd card here. 1 ace left. It's your last chance to catch me, folks. Watch. I'll do this one slowly. Last ace. Watch. 1, 2, 3, and I think, no, this one didn't go yet. I have to do that the hard way. There it goes. That one's gone, you see. Because where we had 1 ace at the very beginning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Now I know you're watching. You ain't seeing anything. Look, you're watching. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yep, that's good old Harry right there.
Yeah. That small packet magic, doing those sleights that look like he's doing nothing but handling cards. It's just wonderful. Really great. Really
It
great.
really is. And that's when we started watching it, I never know which Harry Lorayne version Ace Assembly is going to come out, But when we started watching that, I thought it was the very classic approach to that trick, the very simplest approach to it, but it wasn't. No, there was some extra stuff on there that was quite delightful, and that final phase was really nice. I love all the little additional things he adds. I got to do this cut here for this to work. It's not gonna. That's not gonna play like that. Let me do this behind my back. He's got all these great little
loose with
moments. Yeah.
And he has moments like that in the memory act too, right? Like just little moments that seem like it's just an impromptu, off the cuff, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but it's like him really showing off, right? And he's like downplays it so that you don't see the show off until it happens and it becomes an effect, which is very clever. It's very clever, man.
One of the things I never really thought about, I was kind of thinking about it when I was watching this, is his tempo is really important. The way he does things, he has a lot of tempo to what he's doing. He doesn't spend a lot of time, just kind of like not saying anything or waiting. He's just on to the next thing. I mean, it's just a lot of things happening, and I think that really is the thing that makes you watch.
Right.
You feel like you have to get on the train and pay attention.
I was thinking train too. Like you're like that. He's moving like a train. He's
Yeah,
on
he's just
rails and
moving.
he's not stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tempo, I never really thought about that, but I think it's really important.
Yeah.
You can really see it too. Like if you watch it without the sound on,
Yeah.
you can really see his body language and tempo and how he's.
It's a big secret right there.
I mean, look at this. Like how his hands are moving. His mouth is moving.
Yeah, look how fast he's moving.
Yeah, but check this out. I mean, he's really just train is the right word. The way his body language is, his hands are moving, the way he's positioning his body. I mean, the way he's directing attention. I mean, all of this is like stuff you just can't learn this in a year.
Yeah.
You can't learn this in a year in magic, you know?
Oh, he's clearly a master.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like even that, just the procedure of making, those little gestures he's doing to make a vanish happen. Like that's
very
something.
Slidini-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't
Kind
it?
of feels that way a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. It's really good. Because it's different. Like you don't look at that. What is that? What's happening? He must have done something.
Yeah. That's,
Maybe we should talk about this one too in the after show. I actually don't know do you know where this is found in his any of his books, Alex? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not as up to speed on the Harry Lorayne citations as I'd like to be. No.
If anybody knows where this is, where that effect is from, let us know in chat.
We're
I'd
dropping.
love
I
to
could,
know.
I could definitely find out. I just can't find out while we're here in this moment. But I can find out for the next time we meet.
Yeah, perfect. Good. I enjoyed it. We've got more Harry Lorayne to watch, obviously, right?
Oh yeah, there's going to be a little bit more Harry Lorayne. We'll have a little bit of fun with this for a while. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Well, if you joined us today on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're watching, thanks for joining us, and appreciate you, especially if you give us a like, thumbs up. That lets the algorithm know that we've got some good stuff here to watch. And also think about joining Conjuror Community, a place where you can really hang out with some cool magicians and learn some really great stuff. Just the best community of magicians on the planet Earth. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Steve, for joining us today. We're going to go to the after show. If you're watching on social media, you have to be a member to join the after show. So unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to you now, and we'll see you next time